Hi everyone, I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Welcome to the Bucket Podcast once again. Definitely the usual suspects, Laban and Ian.
Yep.
How you doing, bro?
I'm all right.
How is your going?
Very, very well and blessed.
How's your week?
My week is good, fine, doing well. Yeah.
What was
nothing
the difference?
Nothing. The difference is that new goals, man. New strategy and how to attack 2023.
So you brought new guns. you bought better guns for 2023 more than 2022.
Man, this year needs a new vibe.
Why? What happened in 2022 that you need a new vibe?
It's done. So why do I have to carry the old stuff to the new year?
So you carried only new stuff.
Only new.
All right, guys. How I pray that as you watch this podcast, your life is inspired, it's motivated, because that's one of our goals, to have creatives come around here and share with us what they do, how they do it, so that you too out there, at one point, maybe you can have some questions answered. All right. So the person we have today on the podcast, Laban, first of all, is a friend of ours at Backyard. You know, when he's a friend of someone, he's a friend of the whole family as Backyard.
Yep.
And she's one of those people who started the game of Christian influencing, or has having influences. Maybe we're going to understand. Some people don't know who an influencer is.
I need to understand myself.
What influencers do? Do we need influencers? Do we, what's their worth? How much should I pay? How does everything go? Why do I need them? And how do they help me? One thing I understand about her, she's a person who works with numbers, either numbers of money, numbers of people. I don't know whether she was good in math during school time.
At the end of the day, if you deal with numbers that has a UGX, it's very hard to miss.
It's very hard to miss a digit
or
to miss math.
Man, that one. Everyone is a professor.
Yeah, even us who are failures in math, when it comes to counting money.
Yeah.
There. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, with us today, we are very, very humbled to have Seera Adong onto the Bucket Podcast. You're welcome, Seera.
Thank you. Yeah, I like the hand clap.
Yeah, that's what we always do. Everyone who comes around on our podcast. It's good seeing you.
Good to see you too. Thanks for having me here.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. Indeed.
How have you been? You look good.
Thank you. I've been good.
You look so amazing.
I give the glory to God.
Wow, Laban, by the way, she's very single.
Christ is the solution. Yeah.
How have you been?
Again, I have been good.
How was 2022?
It was a good year. It was a good year. Every year has its own challenges depending on what you've set to do. That is either career-wise or family-wise or with your personal ambitions. So yeah, with everything that you've set to do, obviously some come with challenges and some don't. But either way we move. It was a good year. I'm not complaining.
Amazing. And how is 2023 so far?
2023 is good. I was able to come up with something new, so I am so excited.
Amazing.
See how it comes out.
Wow. Yeah. Yes, back to you, Laban. Single man.
Ian, you're stressing on that factor. Anyway, Sarah, you're most welcome here. And we love, as Backyard Podcast, we are so humbled to have you on this set.
Thank
you. Most of our viewers want to understand, who is Seera Adong?
Well, I am a born-again Christian, first of all. I believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross and rose again after 3 days. And he's seated on the right hand of our Father. And he's coming back soon to take all of us. But besides that, I am an influencer. I'm an events planner, producer, and manager. I also do the music business, bit of it in the industry. So that's me in summary.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where are you from? Are you a Ugandan or
Italian.
Italian?
I am a
Swiss.
full Ugandan. Fortunately or unfortunately. Well, I'm a full Ugandan. My mom and dad are both of Kome district, so I'm an Itesot.
Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
but city born.
You're
Not
born out.
complaining, yeah.
Wow. So let's understand you. How did you? What was your inspiration that led you to enter into the field of creatives and be an influencer? First of all, tell us, who is this influencer? What do they do?
Well, I don't know. Should I start with the influencer bit of it or the creatives bit of it?
Anyway, you are.
Anyway.
Anyway, I want.
Yeah.
Let me just summarize with an influencer bit of it.
Yeah.
So an influencer is someone who uses their audience and is able to persuade them to do something. For example, if I am a brand ambassador of any brand and I am supposed to find ways or find the suitable words to persuade my audience, I have to make sure that my audience listens to me and I can command it in a good way. So if I am an influencer for, say, a certain brand, I should be able to influence people to associate with that brand, okay? Such that, and then as an influencer, you're also supposed to be known, to have a niche, to be known into a space. So if I am looking for travelers, I know the travel influencers because they're always traveling, they're always sharing pics of where they've been to, they have experiences that they can share about the different spaces they've been to. If I am a musical influencer, I should be able to know a lot about music, so that in case anyone wants anything regarding your space, music, so if they want to know anything about music or gospel music, they know I can go to Seera's page, I can go to so-and-so's page. Okay? So that is what we call influencing. They're able to know that if Seera says this, we are able to follow and act upon it. So if Seera invites us for a concert, we know that it is legit and it is not going to be cancelled.
Yeah.
Or if in case it's cancelled, the reasons will be communicated or anything, because things happen. Things happen. But you're just supposed to influence. But all this depends on your background. For example, I'll give an example of if let me say I am poor, I have a poor background. That means most of the people around me are not that wealthy.
Yeah.
So you can't come and say, for example, Louis Vuitton. So if that brand comes and they expect me to influence so that I get customers, it might not work well with them.
Yeah.
Because my background is not of those people that actually can afford that product. You get it? But I am building a brand, like I am working with many people. Like you have a social media handle that has people from all over the world. So if you're targeting people all over the world, yes, that can work out. But if you're targeting my locality, it means I might still be struggling to get the people that can actually associate with your brand. But if it is more like something musical, I know, say, a person has been associating with artists and so on. So you're able to know that if I'm looking for information about an artist, let me talk to this influencer. This influencer has a background of associating with these artists, so they're able to give us that information, especially in cases where, say, you're a journalist and you're finding it hard to link up with a certain artist. So that is where an influencer comes in.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've explained perfectly.
Yeah, perfectly. Now, my question is, when you're growing up, did you have, what was your source of inspiration? Did you have someone you're looking up as a big influencer and that stirred you inside to say, I want to do this?
When I was growing up, there was nothing like influencer in me. I didn't even know anything called influencership existed. But when I was growing up, I used to listen to a specific radio station. Am I allowed to mention?
Yes.
Mm.
So growing up, my family used to listen to Capital FM for long. So the Capital FM used to have those were they like competitions? You're supposed to write down every song that is played on air, and then a presenter comes up and says which song was played at this time. So when you guess it right, you win money. So because of course you need money or what, I would literally sit with a list. And then my big sister also loved music, so I had a recorder. I picked it from somewhere, I don't remember. So I felt so good about my recorder, because I would just go recording them and then I'll let them listen to themselves, and that's how I started loving music meanwhile. But it wasn't this kind of me deciding to say, let me do gospel music, because Capital was not playing gospel music. God have mercy on me. But it worked out for me. So when I grew up, after my senior six, my HSC, I got to link up with friends that introduced me to the world. Before that, I used to listen. There's some friends that I met online on Facebook. They were fans of gospel music. So we used to listen to
Just to remember
FM.
them by name, those friends.
Yeah, I still remember them. That's Felix Chigongo, AI Richie, Professor Doctor, it's called Sean, Serial Kings. So we were like Facebook friends, and we used to listen to Spirit FM, and we would be creating the bars on Spirit FM on the social media platforms.
Yeah.
So whenever there's a show, we would go like on the platforms and create bars. So you'll find like there's a lot of engagement on a post or a Facebook post, and that is how I started. Slowly, I started getting into the industry. So before I knew it, artists were contacting us, because we used to call and request for songs. Like, we're just requesting for any song that I thought I felt like listening to on radio.
Yeah.
I would just call and say, hi, there's a presenter called Liz. Hi, Liz. So she's no longer on radio, but she used to do the Warm Breeze. So we used to interact. And then Bizo was also in the afternoon show. So we used to interact with Liz so much. And then artists would call us and ask us to request for their songs instead of requesting for the Western songs, because we're just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
So we're like, yeah, why not? Why shouldn't you request for a Ugandan song?
Yeah.
So we started like that. I started requesting for Ugandan songs, and along the way, there was a concert. Then I don't remember which concert it was. Then I met my other friends. I met Rosette, who is my co-founder with me. So I met Rosette, I met Kerry Rogers, I met Karen Alecho, and then there was a show at Gaba Community Church. I'm forgetting the name of the artist. And then there was a show, so we came out, we were together because we were seated together, we were so excited. Then we decided to do it. We talked a lot about the industry. We're like, let's come together and do this so that we can push the industry. We are so angered by the fact that back then, if you look at the Kenyan industry back then, gospel music was leading. It was like the mainstream, and secular music wasn't leading in any way. So we're like, but we can do it. I mean, we are not influential enough. Back then, we're like, we don't have the energy or the resources, but we can start with a little.
Passion.
Yeah, we can start with the little that we had. So we started pushing artists that I'm not going to mention. We started pushing, and I am glad to say that some of them are up, are where they are.
Because of what you did.
Not because of what, I don't want to put it that way. I might end up in trouble.
But in
I
one
am
way or
glad to
another.
see them,
But you
to see them
contributed.
shining. Yeah, we contributed, and I am glad I can see them shining today.
Yeah.
I can see them raising the banner high for Christ, and I
Wow.
would say I am also proud of the fact that they never gave up, because the music industry is challenging.
Yeah.
It is very challenging. If you're not so dedicated, you'll end up giving up at one point. So that's how we started. And then when we came together, we called ourselves the Everywhere You Go team.
Yeah.
Man, that name. Actually, Levixon is the one that called us everywhere. He was just like, but you guys, you're just everywhere. Because we had purpose to
be on
visit,
every Christian party.
to go for every concert. We reached a point whereby we didn't even have to buy tickets. The artists just, they were like, you guys, your tickets are there, just come.
Yeah.
So we would go to every concert, make noise, share about the concert, promote. Meanwhile, we usually didn't know how the impact we really carried. So that day we got to know our impact was when Redeemed Church, Makere, they had a Christmas carol, something like that, and it was at Sheraton Hotel Ballroom. So the Renzori Ballroom. So we were pushing on social media, but we're like, we're just pushing. We didn't know that we're actually influencing people to go for concert. So we went thinking, this thing is not something we're really used to, because choir, we were used to urban music, and now that we are starting to associate with the choir, we're like, okay, let's just do it, but we don't expect people. To our surprise, we reached there like an hour later, because we didn't even bother coming early. We felt like we'd be bored, so we're like, let's go late so that we don't get bored. To our surprise, we reached when the room was full to capacity, that even we that felt like we were big, that they were supposed to organize, like to have saved seats for us.
You found one.
We didn't have seats.
Yeah.
And the managers were telling us, we are sorry, the room is full beyond capacity, we can't let anyone enter.
With despite of you having your tickets and what?
Yeah, like there were other people. It was free actually. There wasn't really the ticket. I don't remember the ticket bit of it, but there were actually some other people that were also bounced at the reception. So we just moved out and sat in the garden. So when we sat in the gardens, we thought hard. I really thank God for that moment, because we thought hard and thought of how we could be of help to the industry. And then we discussed a lot of things, and then as we were going back as a confirmation, we met the late Mark Elvis. Should I say we met or he met us?
Okay. You met each other.
He bumped into us.
You
That's the right word to say.
Or you bumped into yourselves.
Like we were moving, he saw us. He was coming from school tours. That was Vienna College. So he told us he was coming from Vienna College. So he bumped into us. We're still talking about the industry as we were sloping down to Kampala Road. Yeah. So he bumped into us and he's like, "You guys, I have heard everything you've said." And we're like, "How come?" Like, "I've been following you from the back, but you guys have good ideas." And then at that point, we actually didn't think we had the muscle to invite artists and talk to them. So it was like, you know what, you do your thing. Yeah. We are going to I will be the person talking to artists. If you need artists, I will invite them for you. Yeah. Just do your thing. Whenever you need help, I will step in. So I like that's how we came up with the Street Jam. Street Jam is actually it's not a street jam concert as such, but it's a dinner. It was actually a dinner that we used to organize in the spirit of unity for the artists. This is a point where we realized we have great potential. Yeah. And we started going professional. So if anyone wanted a service, we told them you have to pay. So that at the end of the day, if you said we don't care. You have paid us, we have gotten our wage. Yeah. You have also gotten what you want. Yeah. So it is okay. So just like that, we started, and the fact that we were always aiming at excellence, making sure that our clients are satisfied, the audience is also satisfied, we've had fun, and we are also happy. We're able to pull off most of the stuff, really. So when we went professional, we realized that the name, everywhere you go team, it was actually an MTN tagline. Yeah. So we realized if those guys sued us, we would be selling our intestines, our kidneys, and everything.
To get out.
Yeah, so we decided to go professional with Jesse Label, but still do the things we do. So when we did Jesse Label, many artists came on board and
Which
they
year
were
was
asking
that?
us, am I good with remembering? Yes. No, it was back then. All I know is that some good years ago. Okay, not so good, because when I say good, they might say,
You'll be like, oh, man,
but not so long ago. But again, not so recent. Yeah, so when we started this label,
still with the same team of everywhere you go, you just transited into just a label, or the other people who...
When we went professional, we had to go professional in every way. So we sat down with the team and told them, if we're going professional, that means we're going to make an investment. So if we're doing an investment, that means everyone is going to be having shares for this investment. Depending on how much you invest, that is how much
you get back, or you own.
Or that's how much you own.
Or that's how much you can back and shout.
Exactly. So, but some were really frustrated because Kerry just came to us and told us, you know what, you guys, I want to be solo. He chose to go solo.
That's,
so we're like, it's
Rogers.
okay, that's Kerry Rogers.
Yes.
So like, it's fine. Then midway, Karen also left us. Then I stayed with Rosette. So we've been pushing with her. Of course, we've been having some people come in because they also support the industry. But because some artists are some artists are really demoralizing. And
or maybe they are over demanding. Is it because they are over demanding, or
they are not really over demanding? They don't know what they want. I must say they don't know what they want. They just some were just looking at the local market. And when you're trying to handle a brand, you don't only look at the local market. Of course, you start with the local market, but your goal should be the international market if you're to benefit or if you're to commercialize the artist and the brand. So you tell them things that would help them break through in the local market, and then they will not even avail themselves. They have this small fame. And God had given us the grace, that if we mention and say, there's an artist called, there's Artist X, you need to check out Artist X.
Everyone
People
goes
would
there.
go and check them out, and before they know it, they start feeling this fame. So that little fame they would feel would bring this pride in them, and then they'll feel like they have arrived. Okay, so that arrivalism would always, they would start misbehaving. They would be big-headed. You're telling them do this, and then they're doing that. They're not listening literally. So we tell them, you know what, there's an artist that we just let go because we thought we'd work with them professionally, and then the management bit of it is draining. You need to be financially okay, first of all, because of course we used to work with investors that would invest. Thankfully, they were not they don't operate like loan sharks. They are investors, but they're also people that are interested in uplifting the gospel music industry. So they would invest in projects. And then in exchange for something, they would tell them straight, you might not really get money out of this right now. So let's do an exchange that is more viable. And then would exchange for another service. Could be branding, could be PR, anything. Because we'll tell you, if you're looking at money immediately, with the gospel industry right now, we can't say you've given us 10 million and we are going to give you 20 million in 1 year. That's impossible. So let's do something that's viable. So we used to work with some of them, most of them like that, and they were of great help. So we're able to push some artists until we reached a point and we're like, okay, enough of the artists. And then I must say, we really didn't, we hadn't really understood this whole management bit of it, the most professional bit of music and handling artists, handling someone's career. So we had to first
go back,
take
a seat, and study, understand the industry, understand what you have to do to make money, understand how to sell a brand better. Of course, we thought we knew, but it was local knowledge, very local. And we managed to do that. Like, we just basically had to sit down and reevaluate. If you're to succeed, what you have to do. You have to attach emotions, because basically we used to sign contracts with artists, but we used not to follow those contracts.
Yeah, you would not enforce them to
Yeah,
make sure
if
that
we'll tell you we're supposed to be available whenever we call you, but when you call me and tell me, you know what, this and this has happened, I'm like, yeah, it's okay, you're humans. And then that would cost us a lot, because sometimes if you've invested in a project and you want to see this project out somewhere, because you've set targets and you need to see yourself achieving these targets, and you're being lenient with the people, you end up not getting the targets. You'll be like, you'll only train for 1 week at most, and then you're nowhere. No one is talking about the song again, which was really not so cool. So yeah, COVID came. Before COVID, towards COVID, I think that's when we started reflecting and looking at which people we really needed, and then expanding our territories, because if we needed to expand and promote our artists beyond just Uganda, but honestly we did have the connection. You get the fact that you know an artist in Kenya, end of story. You're like, Chris is my friend, Chris will help me. But we needed to have a more like a touch-based kind of connection with the people that are running the business industry. So we did that. Thankfully, we're able to reflect on that. We're able to participate in different master classes for businesses, because you're supposed to learn about music licensing, you're supposed to learn about publishing, you're supposed to learn about royalties. And then back then we're just excited about having music on different platforms. You don't know you're supposed to benefit from those platforms. So yeah, and thankfully in that journey, as I was trying to polish myself, I landed on a better job. Wow. That also helps, as that has so much helped me to also polish my music business skills.
Which job was that?
I'm working with Modundo.com. I am the lead licensing manager for Modundo.com, and I'm the country representative for Modundo.com, a music streaming platform with over 100,000 content providers in Africa. It's basically a Pan-African platform. So if you're looking for, which name should I use? Jesus, give me that international name. You're looking for Dietrich Haddon, you won't find him on Modundo. So it is a platform where you can only find African content. It is strictly African. It's not that we don't have access to other people, but I think it is.
The focus was to uplift the African industry. Yeah,
and it is, when you look at the statistics, Modundo leads, Spotify leads in its region, iTunes leads in its region. But in Africa, it is Modundo. Modundo is kicking the ass, and I am so honored and glad to be a part of the team, because I was able to learn a lot about licensing.
Wow.
Yeah, mainly about licensing. I was able to learn a lot. And then it was an eye-opener. Right now, when I speak to most artists, I just look at you, your excitement, you're splashing your music on WhatsApp. Hey, I have made a new release.
You're putting it in 1,000 groups.
Exactly.
And
then you're complaining you don't have streams. Your YouTube downloads are low. Your downloads in this platform are low. And then, I mean, why should we go to your streaming platforms when you're sharing a song on WhatsApp? So yeah, with that little knowledge, I am glad I have not chosen to sit with it. I am glad I am using it to help other artists to better their careers. Although now it is not only gospel artists.
Yeah, true.
Gospel artists are still big-headed. And at
Which
this point,
artist is not big-headed?
The artists that are actually focused. The artists that are focused. Let me tell you, the fact that I have been able to get into the mainstream, I have seen a package of artists who are focused and artists who are just mediocres in the industry. Because an artist who is focused would know that they can't run the show alone.
True.
Okay?
There should be someone else.
An artist should have a manager. If you can't be an artist and be your manager and be your publisher and do everything. You can't. You need a team that you're working with. Okay? So if you're an artist and you're doing everything on your own, that is how you start feeling that you're big. Why? Because this blog partner is contacting you. This blog partner has contacted you. They want to write a blog about you. So because you have these 5 blogs that are wanting to write something about you, you feel you're big. Okay? And then you don't even know how many views these blogs have. You're feeling big because of a website that has 200 views in a week. You get it, eh? But if you have a manager, for example, a manager will know, yes, I have a brand, but it doesn't mean because I am looking for publicity, I have to be everywhere. I have to be strategic and say, okay, you want to do a blog about my artist? Thank you. Tell me about your page. How many daily views do you have? What value addition do I get from my artist being on your platform? Because obviously, if my artist is big, it means that the moment you make a blog post saying that so and so is going to be on this platform, we've done a blog, follow. Everyone is going to come. So it's like I am benefiting you. So it is okay, I'll benefit you, but what value are you adding to me?
Yeah.
Exactly. But gospel artists, man, don't forgive me.
Sarah, coming back to influencing, especially just like you've said, in the gospel industry, there are things, all right, we look at. Sometimes we love them, you get, but because of the analogy, the nitty-gritties and everything, just like how Facebook had come up and our forefathers were saying it's satanic. Getting it? Just like different social media platforms come up and our forefathers say it has this, it has that. We want to understand, on behalf of so many people out there, what is, you gave us the definition of influencers, right? What is the sole work of an influencer? Okay, what do they do? Because some people would love to have them, but because I don't know, that's like, I don't know are they noise makers? Are they because it is solely because I'm one of the people who would love gospel artists to have a full package of anything. But again, if they don't understand, how will they? So who is this influencer? And who is, because also we have so many people who call themselves influencers, but they are not. So even us, how do we know this one is an influencer and this one is it's just
Well, you might not really differentiate until you test the waters. But an influencer is someone who helps you reach a space that you might not have managed to reach personally. For example, if I am an artist and I have released a song, I need that song to reach out to very many people. I reach out to, like I said earlier on, influencers have different spaces they influence. So I will understand, I'll need to first know, where do I want to go? Where is this song even going to make an impact in this space? Okay, so depending on what your goals are, you get an influencer
for that specific
goal. So for example, I might make a song and that song is about environment. So you get a song about environment and then you give it to event influencers. You get? Because if I'm an influencer, if I'm always posting about events, that means the people that are following me are people that are interested in updates of events. So they want to know that, this weekend this weekend Kaliwali, you get. So you get your environment song and you're giving it to
the events influencer.
An events influencer. So that means that person will become a noisemaker. You get? Because your goal is to reach out to many activists. Okay, I'm assuming if I am an events, if I am an artist and I have done a song about environment, I am looking at reaching out to the global community. So and mostly the opportunities for you reaching out to the global communities are with the environmental activists, So your pact is go and get an environmental activist. Telling Omani, Nabakubida Kayimba. Share the song with them. Those ones are going to be influencers of your product. Okay? Because they are going to influence their masses to listen to this song.
Yeah.
And your goal will be achieved. But when you mismatch, you're having noisemakers instead of influencers. So influencers are basically people who persuade their communities to associate with your brand or your product.
Wow. So let's go to this other question. Let's go to this other question I have for you. Let's go to the value of the influencers. Value, I mean, Laban is here, and he wants, let's say, he wants you to influence something for him. How do you charge? Do you charge as per weight of a product, or let's say per product? I mean, maybe is there a different charge between an audio, an audio product and a visual product, or it's just the entire product? Just take us through. How do you charge for influencing? And what do you depend on to charge? Do you also depend on the capacity? You're like, this is his first song, so get to call on no cent. Let's charge him high. What do you look at?
I think I am still very lazy with charging.
Yeah.
But the best way is you don't discriminate. Sometimes people discriminate. They do their pricing with price discrimination. So if you come and I see that Ian is loaded really, and the kumi is nothing.
Yeah. True.
So I'll charge you 10M, and then so and so will come and cry, and then from 10M you at 5M. Okay, but then you're getting the same product. But at the end of the day, it depends on the package. What are we selling? How frequent is it going to appear?
Yeah.
And for how long? So, for example, if we're doing say, which product now?
Let's say a music video or a concert. It may be okay. Let's look at a concert.
We are influencing for a concert.
Yes.
Wow, that's easy. So for a concert, of course, since you're the organizer, that means you're sending us the marketing material.
Yeah.
So that's a price cut. We don't have to spend on that. So you're sending us. We're basically just sharing a strategy with you. We sit with you and see what your goals are for the concert, and then we design a strategy aimed at achieving your goals. So depending on the package, whichever what we need from you. So if we're influencing, I'll ask you, which team do you want? There is a high-end team.
Yeah. And there is the starters. These ones who whisper. They are the ones who will talk. And there are those ones who just
because at the end of the day, the high-end team is going to charge highly per tweet or per post, which these others won't do. So if I am paying these others 50,000 per day, high-end doesn't take 50,000 per day. They'll tell you, okay, if you can't do per day, let's charge per tweet. So I am giving you 35K for each tweet. That is only on Twitter.
Wow.
Okay. Then
influencers make money.
For Facebook, let's do 25 per post.
Wow.
And Instagram, we do 25 per post. So in summary, you're still suffering.
So on that 35K or 50K, what do you promise me? Okay, 35K. Does it have an assured number of views, of likes, or I just give?
It depends as an. Okay, now I am going to be talking about digital marketing, which is further a little, because as a digital marketer, there are tools that we use. There are apps that we use to gauge which are the most trending words on the internet currently. So we use those words to phrase a caption. So when we phrase, we're able to, if we use them correctly, we're able to get more post-in impressions and interactions. Okay, but if I am using these apps, it means you're paying high because we also
you have to pay the licenses and what
Yeah, we
subscription
pay.
fees
We
and-
have to pay it on a monthly basis.
Wow.
So if I am using it, you want results, you pay. But at the end of each campaign, we always ensure that our clients have a report. So you're able to know the engagement, the impressions, the number of posts, the number of accounts that were active, and then you also get from there and know but most importantly, it is the strategy, because at the end of the day, it is also tricky with impressions, however much we encourage to use them. I might get a tweet and screenshot it and share it on WhatsApp. You're not going to get the WhatsApp statistics, but the tweet has gone, and the information has been seen. We are talking about people that also, by the way, they're also WhatsApp influencers. The ninjas have over 5,000 views in one day. So he'll tell you, if you want this post to go on my WhatsApp,
pay me this much
give
money.
me this much. I put for you 24 hours. But you also see the numbers.
Yeah. True.
So it is the WhatsApp statistics can't be measured, but the post has gone.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you've gotten, say, the people at your concert, and you also have a report.
Wow. Yes, Laban.
Wow. You know,
Habani yashivudde.
Sarah has talked of numbers, and I was here wondering, Ian, do I need to go back to school and be an influencer because man,
money is there.
money is there. Money is
50K,
there.
35K.
Yeah, Sarah, I have one question for you. You deal in a field that you come in contact with so many people, different personalities, and I will come with my terms. Ian will come with his terms, and at the end of the day, I will feel like, Sarah's also principles are not.
Yeah.
They are. I need to do something. Let me say, I want to manipulate her to do what I need. And I remember there is a song by Kupi Bly. It's called Omugati. And I want to know, have you ever, in one way, found yourself in a position where somebody is giving you Omugati to do what they want? And how do you manage also this pressure within different people that want their products to be pushed at the same time?
Well, I need to first go and listen to Mugati. So behind the scenes with Mugati. But at any one point, if someone sees that you add value to them, they always want to take shortcuts. So at the end of the day, it comes back to you. You must have your own principles that govern you. You must have integrity. I'll give an example. Me working with Mudundo, there are many people that have come across, and I'm telling them to create accounts on Mudundo, and then they see everything is free of charge, but at the end of the day, an artist is paid royalties, and so they'll tell me, do you know what, let's do this as a business. Let's partner. We tell artists, pay money so that we create for you an account on Mudundo. And then you're like, and then we share the money. So I'm like, you know what, I don't do that because that is not true. It comes back to your principles. What do you live for?
Yeah.
What do you stand by? Okay. So if something is for free, I'll not do it for money. However much I want money. But if I've done it for you and you decide to give me a presidential handshake, I mean, glory to God, why would I refuse a presidential handshake?
Yeah.
But and then most of the times, if you try to do things the wrong way, they always backfire.
Yeah.
So I always tell you, I always emphasize telling you the truth. Usually when I'm handling my clients, I'll tell them, this is what you want. This is good, but the challenge is that you're going to face with this and this and this and this. But if we do it this way, we will still arrive at this and we will still be safe. So at the end of the day, I leave the ball back in your hands. It is up to you to decide, should we do the shortcut or we follow the procedure. It might be long, but you're safe.
Yeah. Well, now, the other thing I wanted to understand, you being a female influencer, what is the biggest challenge that you have faced in this field?
Oh, wow. Are there different challenges that I feel like females go through the same challenges, because sometimes you reach a point as an influencer and there's that season where you don't have gigs, especially if you are one-sided. There's a time when we're doing strictly gospel. Nganebo jango in a business, your government will tell you, I'm a gospel influencer. You get? But the fact was that the gospel influencership part of it wasn't paying, and we're chasing these government gigs that are well paying. You get? So I reached a point whereby we now needed them. So someone will give you an opportunity, and then the next time they will tell you, terms and conditions apply. I mean, soko vejoli. And soko vejoli is not give me something. Like, okay, it is give me something, but not money.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's like I said, it is either you choose between your principles or
money. Yeah.
So if you feel like that 200k for that gig is worth than your life and your dignity, lay down, get the 200,000. But if you feel like that 200k you're going to chop it in 30 minutes and it is no more, and you still have your life, it is going to move on. I mean, at the end of the day, you decide to do the right thing according to your principles. Okay? So as a challenge, that's one of the challenges that female influencers go through. But as influencers in general, if sometimes getting opportunities, whenever you're not appearing in many gigs, sometimes you're considered as, how do they put that word in English? You have faded. So it's like you have faded. So even when clients are coming, they're basically looking for the trending ones.
Yeah.
So it is hard to again convince a client and tell them, maybe this person is good. They're like, ngatakuba gig. Why don't they give them gigs? They're like, but it's good. But besides that, I think that's the only challenge. You just have to stay relevant. That's why most of the times you find that an influencer is influencing for a gig that they have not been paid for, but just to keep relevant in the game.
Sarah, I want to understand. You just like Laban has said, you work into an environment of different people. An environment that involves emotion imbalance. You get what I mean? An environment, where you deal with people and people are emotional. So, there could be someone out there is also like you, excited, happy. They want to come into the influencing industry. Because these days influencers, they even have an association. So it's so somebody out there, how do you manage? What things have you done? Because you can't say that you've not gone into somewhere and they are pressing all buttons to switch you off. Because it happens. You see, just deal with two people. And you feel like, And so how do you manage your emotional balance? How do you work on? Because you can't say you've not gotten annoyed or you've not gotten into situations that have pulled you off. How do you? Because at the end of the day, it's your business. You get, it's what you do. It's your profession. How do you deal with it?
Wow. Usually when I'm annoyed, I just walk away. It saves me a lot. I just walk away and I will not mention anything. Actually, I'll even let you be the person to first reach out. I'm usually silent when I'm annoyed. So I think it has helped me a big deal. I just look at you and keep quiet. The next time you come back, I'll tell you, by the way, you did this and this and this. It wasn't cool. There are many instances. For example, let me see. My examples are with events, because there's a time we wanted to work with one artist, a certain artist, and then the artist came to our offices and we discussed and we agreed. We're supposed to sign a contract with them, and then I'm like, let me first go home and read it through, maybe share it with my lawyers, blah, blah, blah. We're like, okay, fine. But it's like, but either way we can be starting. So I'm like, okay, let's first start with branding. So we're starting with branding so that we make some noise about the event awareness, blah, blah, blah. So we went all out because he was a big artist. And we wanted to do something that was really good. We went all out. We contacted a big graphics designer. This is a graphics designer for Coca-Cola International. Weirdly expensive.
Yeah.
And they work professionally. That's a good bit of it. So we contacted them, we sent them pictures to them. This is a kind of event, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, they also ask questions so that they can draw the inspiration for the branding. So we share everything, and then it's like, okay, he sends us samples, like 5 samples. And then it's like, since you've paid 70%, these are the samples. Let me know which sample you want. You've chosen, and then send me the balance so that I send you the final product. Excited as we were, we get the samples, we share with the artist, and after some 2 days, the artist goes sign. And then we're like, dude, we have paid a huge chunk for this artwork. And then the artist is like, Omani, I have talked to someone, and then they said, you guys are too young. You won't manage this big event, so I have been advised to use someone else. And then this information doesn't even come in formally, it comes in informally. And then we're like, okay, fine, let's just keep our cool. It is fine if you feel like we are too young or won't manage, you can go ahead and work with whoever your spirit leads you to. Cool, but I was pissed because our money was gone. This person, they as well, they really used our artwork. And then there was nothing like because at least literally I felt like we would have appreciated the fact. Anyway, I think he didn't know that we paid a huge chunk of money for that branding.
Did you show him the receipt? Did you tell him that, man, we paid for this?
I didn't. I was pissed. Like I said, when I am pissed, I keep quiet and look at you. Just wait one day and I'll tell you. Actually, that day has not yet come. I haven't told the artist, but it's been some years.
Maybe when he's
down
watching
the
this
road.
podcast, they'll
Maybe.
They'll analyze
Man, wankola bubi nnyo muntu gwe. But
Yeah.
they used the artwork and everyone appreciated the artwork.
Wow.
They went ahead. I think they just duplicated it and they added all the other logos. We didn't appear anywhere. I'm like, fine, no problem. Netukamira. Let me tell you, it pissed me off, but I kept quiet. Sometimes keeping quiet keeps relationships. It doesn't mean that you're stupid, but you're able to control yourself for the future. Because you never know. If I had done something wrong, but if I had expressed my anger and done all sorts of things, he wouldn't come back. That artist would never have come back, or would even never have recommended us for any other piece of job. So you just let them be. I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes people just want to piss you off for no good reason, and then some just trigger it to see your reaction, and then maybe get something they can say about your brand. So me, I just keep quiet. Actually, when I'm too pissed, I'll just cry, but I'll not cry in front of people.
You don't cry professionally in front of the client.
I'll just excuse myself and go.
Just love it.
Sarah, I have listened to your story, and you being, let me use the word pioneer, because an influencer is something that we have seen coming up in the recent days. There's one thing that you feel like the community doesn't appreciate, but it is something that they need to look at it in a different way, and setting up a platform. There are so many other influencers who you're influencing as well, you're inspiring, and want to come and step in your shoes. But there's this one thing that you feel like, man, if only this was looking to our audience, looking to the community, looking to our nation at large, and you feel like there's something that is not appreciated for influencers, but you are fighting so hard to see that whoever comes after me will have a better platform. What is this one thing that you feel like, if this was or this thing was appreciated, anyone who would come before me, I will leave a legacy. I will say, at least we fought for this to happen.
Oh, wow. As influencers, the biggest challenge you're fighting with is payment. There's a meme that usually goes through, and the budget is Toyota and the expectation is a Ferrari. Man, and I think people don't really understand what digital marketing is and the impact of digital marketing. I think people need to understand that digital marketing is the next generation we're getting into, because right now people are speaking about NFTs, Bitcoin, and everything. Very soon, this analog stuff are all going to erupt. They're going to fade away, and the digital world is going to be it's going to be the end thing. So the fact that people are still holding back onto the analog and are not as appreciating the digital world, it is kind of making them pay less. For example, I'll give an example. Someone wants to have like over 1 million reach, and then they're giving you 100,000. Okay, but then you're telling them, okay, if you want to have a 1 million reach in Uganda, let's look at the statistics of people in Uganda. Okay, how many people in Uganda are on Twitter? How many people are on Facebook? How many people are on TikTok? How many people are on Instagram? So if we look at the statistics, that is like, let's say 5 million people. Out of the 5 million people, you want to get a reach of, say, 1.5 M. That means we are going to scatter those posts. Scattering is an expense. Okay? You're not going to put your post on Twitter only, pay your 100K and get 1 million. You're not, because actually Twitter is, in Ugandan Twitter in Uganda is mostly for professionals. So there are some gigs that will tell you, know what, Twitter is not your space. Twitter is not your space. Let's do Facebook.
These days it's a battle zone. You only need to post things that are where there is a war.
Exactly.
Relationship based, right?
Exactly. So the fact that the budget doesn't match the efforts, this makes people demoralized. I hate to find an influencer struggling, and yet they have struggled hard to build the numbers. They have a loyal audience. They have numbers they can speak to, and then you want him to come and speak to his people on your budget of 50K, and then you pay like a 50K, and then you accompany it with endless messages, anaempereza statistics, and then you want 1 million in one day. So I think people need to pay more.
Some more money. So
they need to pay more. When someone sits with you and explains to you the dynamics of how they're going to run this, the reason why they're asking for $500 to run your campaign is because we are also going to pay for this. We are going to pay for this. You paying Jesse Label $500 doesn't mean that your posts are only going to stay on Jesse Label. We have to pay someone else so that they will be on Jesse Label. Okay, and that all depends on your goal, because Jesse Label might have the Ugandan community. It might not have the Nigerian community. Okay, so if you want this to be a global thing, for it to be able to reach out to the Nigerians, I'm going to introduce something, and I'll tell you, you know what? So can you pay us $20,000 so that instead of doing blogs, we do widget marketing? Okay. Now, when I talk of widget marketing, that won't tell me now what's that. It's like, yeah. But and then they will feel like it is cheaper for me to go and fly to Nigeria, book some TV interviews, talk about my product, and come back. Your interview is going to air for that specific moment. How many people are on TV watching your interview? And I'm talking about a widget that is going to be on for like a month. It is expensive, yes, but you're going to achieve your goal. Like, it's widget marketing. It's something that is you're 100% assured
So what is
of your
widget
goal.
marketing?
I don't even know how to start. So widget marketing, it is basically marketing. We code your content. Like me as a Ugandan, if there is a Ugandan who wants to market, say their song in beyond any Ugandan territory, so I'll tell you, I'm putting your song on widgets. So that song is coded and put on different entertainment websites, for example, since it's a song. So for me, and it is able to stay there for, say, a period of a month, depending on how much you have paid. The challenge is these websites charge a lot of money because they will tell you, I have 100,000 views per day. Okay? So if you want to access those views, you are going to pay quite a lump sum. And then at the end of the day, me as a person who is also coordinating all this coding and all that, I also need my pay. Okay. So we get these songs and code them to the different websites, such that you're in Uganda, you've given me, say, the link to your Mdundo song. I'll not mention any other person. So you give me a link to your Mdundo song, and then they link it to the widget. Then all the views are going to your streaming platform. Okay, whichever streaming platform it is, your views are going there. So at the end of the day, you have to make sure that the link that you're choosing to put on widget is a commercial link, because you're paying for it, and at the end of the day, this link should be able to generate revenue for you. So once I link it to all these websites, whoever visits this website is able to access that link, and it is there for a full month.
Wow, amazing. So guys, you've had I wish you could start paying the influencers so that they can give you better results. Yeah, I do. Our time is much spent, and as always, we are limited by time. But before we go, Seera, just like I said, for this time you've given us the podcast, I'm sure you are an inspiration to someone there, and they will love to know, because you've had a journey from where you came from to where you are. What are some of those things that you've set into your space, or as boundaries, or as check-ins for yourself, that have helped you to grow from where you were in that garden space where you were talking about a name, to start influencing, okay, to where you are right now? What are those things that have governed you?
First of all, it is fearing God. Once you fear God, you know your limits. You know what God wants and what He doesn't like. So what He likes guides you towards all the other principles. You have to be integral, you have to be honest, and you have to be transparent to anyone. If however much it could be a delicate matter, but transparency saves a lot. Because sometimes you might choose to lie because it's a shortcut, but it is a wrong cut. At the end of the day, you pay for it, and you pay for it dearly. So, being honest, respecting myself, and respecting my people, the people that I work with, and appreciating everyone the way they are. Once you're able to appreciate everyone the way you are, trust me, you're not going to have challenges working with people. People have different characters. So if you appreciate this one and say, one day I know Lugambo Lunch, but let's work. So you appreciate the fact that, I know Lugambo. So when you're with them, you know which information you're releasing and which information you're not releasing. So, and then you say, Gundi Avako Mango. He's hot-tempered. So you appreciate so and so in that way.
Yeah.
And I have to choose my words. I have to be selective in my words because so and so is hot-tempered. So appreciating everyone will help you a good deal. But most importantly, fear God. Respect God. As in God first in everything.
And they will show you that.
Tori achimucha kumi.
Some people even remember the spelling of Chimucha Kumi or Taif. Yes, Labana.
Seera, I checked the last time. One amongst the things that recorded highest or increased in number of how we were doing things before COVID was the growth of internet users in Uganda. And this being your main stream or your main platform where you push your product, we are living in a generation whereby we want easy and we want to see things happening so fast. And it's a good thing to see growth. And at the end of but on the other side, we have these ghost figures. We have ghosts that are not real. And I believe that there are some of us who have a weak heart to know that whatever I'm seeing, the figures that I'm seeing, they might not reflect
the reality,
the reality outside there. So you find that there are people who are living in utopia, but what is outside there, it's totally different. And this now, when somebody come to realize that the figures that I have been seeing are not realistic, and that leads to the mental health thing. So how do you advise someone like me? I'm new, I don't know about these internet things. I know there are figures I will see. How do you, to tame my expectations, how do you manage that to your clients?
I don't think I've understood that question clearly. But like I said, appreciating people the way they are. There are people that come and they know more. Okay? So if they know more, that means you're explaining more.
Yeah.
There are people that come and they don't know, but they appreciate the fact that you understand what you're doing. So all you have to do is explain to them what you're going to do and leave the numbers. Give them the numbers when they are ready, when the campaign is done. Tell them, oh, so we did this, it ran for this period, this is the report. Okay? And then be honest enough and tell them, is it a good report? Is it bad? Is it fair, or is it excellent? Okay? So once you're able to tell them, once you're able to be honest with them at the beginning, they're able to, as they are growing, they're able to learn and differentiate. They'll know that if I am having these statistics, I am not performing well. If I am having this, I have improved. So what do I need to do to make sure that I improve on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly, or annually? So that is a ball that you roll to them after explaining to them everything and telling them the truth. So this that come with expected, because of course there are robot likes, there are robot numbers on social media.
Yeah.
But how do you get to know that these are robots, these are organic? So make them make a post, because you can't be having 2 million likes on Facebook and then you post and at the end of the day you're not able to at least reach, say, 200,000 impressions or views, post views. Okay, so if you have 2 million and you have posted, and then at the end of the day your views are 106, I mean, that means your numbers are lies. I mean, your numbers are lying. They're lying. They're not true.
Yeah, because maybe interjecting in that, Seera, influencers, because why Laban asked that I may come to you, all right? I'm a weak-hearted man.
Yeah.
Then you tell me, man, you see these numbers. Let's say I give you the job. Then me, I'm seeing the numbers. Wow. But when I come to reality, I get to realize that, man, everything was a lie. Because, like, you campaign, you push. Let's say my concert, you push. Every day you're showing me, man, guys are liking.
I have 10,000 likes.
Now, on the day of the show,
Props.
I come to sing and I'm seeing even the grass.
No, there is a mismatch, by the way, between the likes online and the number of people on the show. I might do a post and just people just like the caption. Okay, at the end of the day, it depends. Like I said, an influencer should be able to persuade. That's why I said I might give you a post and then it shows 2 impressions, but then on your concert you end up with 200 people. Okay, it means I influence the people to come, but statistically it doesn't add up. it might not add up statistics. But if you want to have retweets, let me tell you, influencers have a way of getting retweets that I'm not going to mention. If you want to follow retweets, we will give you the retweets that you want. If you want likes, we will give you the likes that you want. Those things are easy. But if you want the real work, it depends. But also, it depends, because as an influencer, you're supposed to be able to push people to come. So the way you package your content itself, show me that you're a part of the event. Okay, I enjoy it because when we're usually working with people for events, when we're influencing, I influence like I am a part of the organizing committee. Okay, when someone reaches out and has concerns, I don't say, let me inquire and get back to you. No, I leave that tweet, inquire, and then get back and tell them, you know what, you are assured the VIP table has eats. You're assured you have shelter. I mean, you're not going to be standing in the sun. You're assured about your stuff. Other than me tweeting like, man, let me inquire. Or I tag someone. I'm like, so and so come and answer this question. Okay? Because if I show my audience that I am a part of this, they have the assurance to come. But if I show them that I am just influencing, obviously that is why you have the likes and the numbers are not there. The old people usually like the Ugandan community, they are vulnerable. God forgive me, but we are so vulnerable that we like it when, if in case of anything, I need to get back I need to fall onto someone. Okay, like an example of the flocked event. Many people were looking for someone they can fall back to blame, but they didn't know who was running it. Okay, many people actually were reaching out to me and they were telling me, why did you guys cancel? And then I'm like, I didn't even make a tweet about this event. I don't even know who the organizers are. So how am I going to explain? I just kept quiet and went. I just kept quiet. I just literally went on Twitter and said, who is in charge of this event? Because I didn't know. When they mentioned, I DM'd them. That was something I did privately. I didn't say, now, Kanzije, first wait. So I told them, but I explained later, I told them I am not a part of this event. However, this is what happened. Okay? However much we are all pissed about the event not happening. And by the way, that event costed us. Indirectly. Because at that moment, there was a Nigerian artist I was booking for a show that is upcoming. And the artist cancelled because Travis Green was in Nigeria. And then we are Ugandans, and then he's talking about unprofessionalism. And the organizers were keeping quiet. So we're trying to get them to speak. We see how we work together to do PR, but we felt like we are so big.
Anyway, Sarah, we have to go because time is never on our side. Maybe we go to Laban for the last words, then we come to Seera. Yes, Laban.
I don't have much to say. You know, I have to digest the
influencer's language.
The influencer's language. But I like the fact the bit of digital marketing. We need to be open-minded.
Yeah.
And as Sarah said, that this is where we are going. So let's be open-minded and know that all these analog stuff we are doing, I believe there will come a time that we will not see handouts being given. These tickets, physical tickets, we are not going. And I believe it has already rolled that you just need your phone. You go QR code and you show your. So as consumers, we appreciate what you're doing, Salah. And because we have seen there's a lot of change, people are appreciating the brand and they're appreciating what you're doing for the gospel industry. We are so humbled, and my prayer and my expectation is to see you move up.
Amen.
There. Yeah.
God has heard.
Wow. Yes. Thank you so much, Laban. And Sarah, what are your last words?
Well, I'm even thinking of my last words. Do I have last words, really?
Okay, not the last one, but the final one.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank our viewers for watching this far. I mean, kadata ako mu Uganda.
Eh.
So thank you for watching this far, and thank you for listening to my journey. And I want to urge anyone out there who is a creative and wants to join the industry, please come and join. There is enough space for all of us. And I'll also urge creatives to do some research. It is not so cool for us to be making noise out of experience and excitement. It would be better if we made noise out of research and professionalism, because as influencers, some influencers were frustrated at one point and they went on ranting on social media, but it was because of the wrong choices they made. So make some research about the career you want to take. Know the highs and lows, and know how to better yourself. Know the people you should associate with that will take you to higher heights, that will hold your hand and make sure that you're up there. And work towards succeeding. And once you succeed, please don't forget to help any other person. Make sure you lift up another person, because once your generation is gone, we need another generation. So those are my final words. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, guys. Remember to subscribe and like, comment. It's been a pleasure. I, for one, transformed, inspired as usual. By the way, what people don't know, that we take the first knowledge before even it comes out there. So we are always humbled, but thank you so much, guys, for always staying with us. And we want to say, please keep it local, the Bucket Podcast. Keep being inspired, keep learning, and keep being motivated. From us to you, God bless you, and we love you.
Salute.